The most powerful blade that isn't made anymore. The most powerful blade that isn't made anymore. There you go. The old cold steel Bushman, mini Bushman. Don't make it anymore. Pound for pound. Nice, small, turns into a spear. Oh, that's not big enough. You can't do stuff like this. Has killed all kinds of things. I want you bow hunters to think for 1 second how arrows kill. How arrows kill. Blood loss. I run big grizzly points. Yeah, big grizzly arrowheads. Big EFOC arrowheads. And they're not as long as this blade is. Because that's something to think about. The standoff with the relationship with socket knives. I have a whole series on socket knives. I've been embracing them well over 30 years. And if you start to think of that technology that's been around all over the world, that stood the test of time, that the stone the builders rejected, what would you rather have? A Mora or one of these on a stick if you had a real threat martially? Or even just a snake you had to cut its head off with? Separates the pros versus the know-it-alls. The blade that was not made anymore. Isn't that terrible? Such a great design. Rejected because it's not flashy. It's a lot thinner, smaller handle than the Bushman. And the new Bushmans aren't the same as the old ones. Ask me how I know. This ain't my first rodeo. I was embracing Spetsnaz shovels before Cold Steel made theirs. Solidified, established experience. Bang for your buck. If you want to know more, look at the links. Your access to certain mentors and instructors is a very, very short window. Hey, why don't you write Cold Steel for me and tell them, hey, what happened? How come we can't get this anymore? It's small, it's lightweight. Now their sheaths sucked and they were like $12. This sheath had custom made back in the day. But I'm here to tell you, the size weight consideration when you take a blade like this that has a socket in a hole and you put a stick in it, and now you have the reach and the length to use it like a machete. You can stick it just on a broomstick and have an offensive weapon or defensive weapon with standoff. It's so much better than trying to lash something to a pole. It's used all over the world, has been for thousands of years, but keeps getting rejected by modern man. But you go all over the world and you see it still in use today, socket knives. Look at the links to my Patreon if you want to have an opportunity to learn more and increase your blade education. Or you could just, listen to the charlatans of commercialism and buy a bunch of kit, spend a bunch of money, as opposed to look at the principles. Moms, it's a system I have here. I've had it for a while, developed it so you wouldn't chase your ballistic tail. Wow. Manufacture, use, maintenance, sustainable systems. Is your system sustainable? Or is the system you adopted, was it parroted by a charlatan trying to sell you a kit? I don't get anything. I don't, no affiliate links, none of those things. Never received one dime from YouTube. Not once. Totally 100% Patreon supported. There's a perspective for you. The stone the builders rejected. What stones are you using on your blades? Are you looking at the edge in multi-use? Or are you using a blade to decide what blades you want? If you go through a process and you start to see that brands get run into the ground when other companies buy them, so holding and being beholden to brands versus what actually works. Are you about the preservation of life? Remember a cravat and a stick? Are you prioritizing self-care or are you prioritizing caring for kids? Something to think about. Something to think about. What systems are you embracing? The 48 laws of power, is that your thing? Is that your kick? Or is it brothers operating excellence in relationship? The farmer-farmer triangle. Because you're not creating soldiers. You don't have the resources to create soldiers, nor do you have the time. And time is our most valuable resource. And if we cut through the crap and look at the stuff that's stood the test of time throughout multiple cultures, multiple generations, that's where you find the sweet spot of golden value. The sweet spot in golden value. One of the best buys right now that they have is their shovel, which is actually superior to the original Russian one. Ask me how I know. Get out into the high mountains if you can, when you can, where instruction happens. Look at the links. Remember, we're 100% Patreon supported. We take videos down because we're not about getting popular. It's not the point. The point is to stop training the enemy and train the right people. If you're one of those people, come on over. Maybe I'll see you soon. Shalom.